Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together. The transfer window is now open and different types of storylines are being written. Today though, we want to focus on homecomings. This January, some players are packing their bags and heading back to a place they once called home. Who are some of these guys? We'll find out in this video today. These are 7 players who are returning to their former clubs this January. Top of the list is Pascal Gross. He was a Brighton player between 2017 and 2024 and grew to become one of their most important players. But in the summer of 2024, he said goodbye to the Premier League to move to Germany to join Borussia Dortmund. His contract with Dortmund was supposed to keep him at the club until June 2026, but with 6 months left, the German midfielder decided to up and return home. And it wasn't even like his time at Dortmund was bad. I mean, over there, he made history by becoming only the 3rd ever player in Bundesliga history to provide 4 assists in a single game when he did so against Union Berlin, so it was a pretty good time for him there. But I guess he was just feeling a little homesick, so he decided to return to the Premier League, and much wasn't said about this one. Not many rumours or links, it all just happened very quickly and suddenly. Gross signed a deal with Brighton until June 2027 and made his second debut on the 3rd of January in the 2-0 win against Burnley. Elsewhere, Amir Richardson is returning to Nice, where he more or less started his footballing career. He joined Nice's academy in 2012 when he was just 10 years old, and he was there for 7 years before moving to Le Havre. From there, he moved to Reims and then to Fiorentina in 2024. But this January, he's set for a return to Nice, and it's not for a lack of options, as Saudi side Neom SC also showed a lot of interest, but the 23-year-old midfielder has made it clear that he wants Nice and Nice alone. This means that the France-born Morocco international will be heading back to a place he called home for the first time in 7 years, but he'll now be getting the opportunity to make an appearance for the first team for the first time, as he was only a youth player the last time he was there. Now, of course, not many people are familiar with Amir Richardson, but this next guy is certainly a household name. But before we talk about him, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, this is a good time to go do that, so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, let's now talk about Joao Cancelo. The Portuguese fullback is leaving Saudi Arabia this January and he's set for a return to Europe. But not only is he returning to Europe, he's almost certain to go back to his former club. At the moment, Inter Milan are leading the race for his signature. And if you remember, Cancelo was an Inter Milan player in the 2017-18 season. He joined the Italian Giants on loan from Valencia, and he did so well there that he earned a place in the Serie A Team of the Year that season. But for some reason, Inter decided not to buy him, and he ended up moving to Juventus in 2018. Well, this time around, the Nerazzurri appear to be really interested and have already sent in a bid for him, so Cancelo is expected to be back there this January. But if something happens and he doesn't move to Inter Milan this January, Cancelo will likely still return to a former club, as Barcelona have also shown interest in him. Just like with Inter, Cancelo was at Barcelona for 1 season on loan. Reports say that the fullback would prefer a move to Barcelona, but Inter seem the more interested, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. Speaking of players returning to Europe, Thiago Silva just did that as well in this window. He moved to Brazil to join Fluminense after leaving Chelsea in 2024, but after a year and a half there, he said goodbye to the club with a mission to return to Europe and play enough to secure a place in Brazil's 2026 World Cup squad. Well, he did exactly that very early in the window. In fact, before the window even officially flung open, he completed a move to Porto, a club he had previously played for back in 2004. But back then, he was only a part of the youth team. This time around though, he, of course, returns as a member of the first team, and a very important one at that. Now, there's another Brazilian footballer on this list, but before we find out who he is, let us first talk about Joshua Zirkzee. It's almost certain that he'll be leaving Man United in this window, and he has been heavily linked with a return to the Serie A. Toward the end of last year, he was being closely monitored by Milan and Roma, but now the Rossoneri have completed the signing of Niklas Füllkrug from West Ham, while the capital club are close to signing Raspadori from Atletico Madrid. So at this point, a return to Bologna, even if just on loan, will be high on the players' list of options this January, because we just don't see him remaining at Man United past this window. Now, The other Brazilian on this list is Gabigol. On the 3rd of January, he completed a loan move to Santos, marking the start of his third stint at the club. The striker started his footballing career at Santos, joining their youth team in 2004 at the age of 8. He steadily moved up the rankings, eventually making his first team debut at the age of 16. Then in 2016, he left the club and moved to Europe, where he plied his trade until 2018 when he returned to Santos on loan. After 1 year there, he moved to Flamengo, then Cruzeiro, and now he has returned to Santos again on another loan deal. Yes, it is just a loan deal, but it is a homecoming nonetheless, and we're sure Santos fans are excited to see how the prolific striker will combine with Neymar in the attack. Now, will Gabi make his deal permanent after this loan deal, or will he leave to return again? Only time will tell. Now, to wrap up this video, let us talk about a very interesting one, the case of Sergio Ramos. Ramos just left Monterrey at the end of 2025, and he's looking to make a return to Europe, but there's actually an even more interesting homecoming he has his eyes on. For those who don't know, Sergio Ramos came up from the Sevilla Academy. He made a name for himself there before then, joining Real Madrid in 2005. Then, after he established himself as a legend at Madrid and explored the city of Paris, he returned home in 2023. Right now though, he's planning another Sevilla return, but not as a player this time, as an owner. Oh yes, the Spanish star is currently leading a €400 million bid to take over Sevilla. According to reports, he won't be the major investor as he's expected to get some big financial backing from an American company, but he's the face of the bid and he'll be spearheading the discussions and negotiations. If he is successful with this takeover, that would effectively disqualify him from playing in Spain again, as the laws in the country prohibit players from having a financial interest in a competition they are participating in. So if he succeeds in taking over at Sevilla, he would not be able to return to Sevilla or Real Madrid as a player. But hey, a homecoming is a homecoming. Whether he returns as a player or as an owner or investor, he will still be heading back to a place he once called home. Now, are there more players who are already heading back to their former clubs or are expected to do that in this January transfer window? Drop their names in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye! Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building, and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together.